Alright guys, what you're seeing here is my 220 gallon tank, quite different from the last time I showed it. I've been hesitant to do this video. I wanted to do it a couple different times and I just didn't, just wasn't feeling it, so I've been holding off. But basically had a major bacterial infection through my tanks. I spread it by my own stupidity with a net. I guess it all started with my Bacorti that was in here. Chased the Argentea. I did notice that he was chasing them. The one day he had the Argentea had a couple of white spots on them. It's one of those things where I had a lot going on. This would have been just after I got the arowana. So I thought about I'm going to move them to the 75 or whatever. I was going to put them somewhere. Long story short, me doing it later that evening turned into me doing it like 2 days later, which was, it's one of those things, and with the kids and everything, March is about the worst time for me. March, April, and May. I really just don't have time for fish tanks with all the kids stuff. So I procrastinated and let the Argentea get really, really bad. It was basically covered in, it almost was like columnaris. I don't know if exactly what it was. It was definitely bacterial. Anyway, I removed them. Everything looked fine in the tank for like another week, and then I noticed some spots on my pike. It honestly, it looked just like ick, and that's why I was like, I got ick, no big deal. Started cranking the temperature up a little bit, slowly. So it went up from its normal 79 to 80 degrees up to about 82, 83 after about a day. The next day, took a turn for the worse. I was like, that's definitely not ick. Realized that it was some sort of bacterial infection, which, if you guys know, the bacterial infections, raising the temperature only speeds up the process. So my misdiagnosis obviously killed them. They died the next day, so they only lived 2 days with it. So even if I would have resorted to some immediate treatments other than ick, I don't think it was going to matter. Snook died. Eventually the Argentea died. He actually lived quite a while afterwards. The only thing I have left is and you see him over there, it's kind of, I just turned the light on, so there's not a lot of action in here, but the Lima, the Frontosa, and then a Raphael catfish that's in that log all survived. I did mention about spreading to other tanks. You can see I only have 3 Menarambos left. Like I said, when I scooped them out, I used that net to scoop the Bacorti out eventually. Kicked him over into the other, the 265, in which case 2 of my peacock bass died. Let me think what else died. And one of the bigger Menarambo, the bigger Pollini died too. So, as bad as it was, it kind of gives you a chance to reflect, what do you want to do? So I basically just said that I'm going to, not do anything, just maintain what I've got, and, get through the spring, which, we are here now in June. Kids are out of school, a little bit more time for things now that all the activities are slowing down. But yeah, this was the 220. Let me kick over to the 265. Alright, here's the 265. Pierzai, still, everybody in here is doing good now. The Azul, Pierzai, the Bacorti, and then the black belt. The Kelbiri, the Orinco did not make it. Between those two, the pike, and even the arowana, even though I didn't have the arowana very long, I only had the arowana about 3 weeks. I had him for a little while before I recorded him, so it probably would seem a little less, but I kept him in the quarantine for a week, and then I threw him in the tank. So really only had him about 3 total weeks before everything, hit. So that's the hard part of the hobby: losing fish, losing a massive amount of fish in a short period of time. These guys all died pretty much within like a couple days out of seeing symptoms, and being that I didn't know who was going to have it, and once I did get it, it happened so quick. I couldn't just treat the whole tank. Treating a 265 gallon tank unfortunately, it's going to be just as much money in medications as what it would be in replacing the fish. So, is what it is, guys. That's part of the hobby. Basically, now what I'm doing, the Bacoordi just got kicked over here. He was actually in the 220 for a long time. Once everything stabilized, I put him over here because I kind of want to do a couple things different in that 220, and he does well over here. So I'm not going to add anything. There was a couple Temensis peacock bass that I was really looking at from Something Fishy in Cleveland. The bottom line though is I really don't have any intentions of getting a bigger tank at this point, and putting them in a 265 really wouldn't be fair to the fish. So as a short-term solution, definitely, but I was always planning on keeping things long term, and I mean, I just couldn't keep a fish that gets 40 plus inches in a tank that's 7 foot long. So that's where I'm at. I didn't really want to do a sad video on Father's Day, but figured I'd shoot you guys straight, let you know what's going on. Of course, the 180 gallon is the native tank again. You guys seen that in the last video. Pretty excited about that direction. Got a few things planned over here on the 220. Like I said, this 265 is pretty much going to stay where it's at. I really like the stocking in it. I like the activity in it, and honestly, it's probably a little bit better for the Azul that he's the lone big dog in here. So, thanks for watching, guys. I rambled on a little bit longer than I really cared to, but glad I could kick that video out. As you've seen with other people, I mean, this kind of thing happens, and that's how you deal with it. It's one of those things where I've chosen that I'm going to continue on. And we'll be getting more fish shortly. Thanks for watching. Remember, they're just stupid fish videos. Take care and have a good Father's Day. Later.